What is up, YouTube? That's here, and today I'm super excited to be bringing you guys a brand new rental team featuring one of my favorite Pokemon, and that is Absol. Absol with the justified ability. We're going to be pairing this bad boy with 3 Pokemon that get beat up. We're going to be pairing it with a beat up Mimikyu, beat up Whimsicott, and a beat up Dragapult. We also have a little bit of Mimilax, Mimikyu Snorlax for some good old fashioned Trick Room Belladrum action. We have some Dragapult Colossal if we want to go for a little bit of a, Surf Proc the Steam Engine. And then we just have like general Whimsicott switcheroo, eject button trick shenanigans. So this is a really, really cool team. Hopefully you like it. There is a rental code so you guys can use this in your own teams. We're also going to be bringing you guys something a little bit different. For those of you guys who don't know, I have a Patreon, and every single month on the Patreon, we do a Q&A. So not only am I going to be like playing these games, but I want to be answering my Q&A. I actually thought like I could just make a video where I just sit there and answer my Q&A, but you guys don't want to see that. I know you guys want to see battles. I know you guys want to see me think on my feet and answer all these amazing questions submitted by the members of my Patreon while I'm actually just dumpstering people with this absolutely amazing team. Before we get into the games though, I actually want to take just a minute and talk about something that's super serious. So you guys have just 1 minute before we get into the games. Hopefully you guys can hear me out. YouTube has not been paying me for 2 months. Like, I'll show you this little image right here from October. They haven't been paying me. So this is actually going to have a really big impact on the channel moving forward, I think. What I'm going to do probably from here on out is, if they're not going to pay me, I'm going to stop running ads, first of all. So that means that until they start paying me again, you guys are going to be getting an ad-free experience, everyone that watches on the YouTube. So if they're not going to pay me, I'm not going to let them get any money either. It's a bit of a bug that's going on YouTube. You've seen me talk about it on Twitter. Maybe I'll leave a link in the description so you guys can find out more info about it. It's a bug affecting smaller creators where they're just not paying smaller creators. It's saying that smaller creators have invalid activity and they're just straight up not paying us. Like normally, like I was supposed to get like $1,500 from Crown Tundra's release. Like I had that money like set up. It said I was supposed to get it, and then they rolled into October. Rolled into November. Nothing. Zero. Zilch, not a goose egg. And, yeah, they're not paying me. So what I'm going to have to start doing is, doing a lot more stuff on Twitch and doing a lot more stuff on Patreon. And speaking of Patreon, we're going to talk about some things that we're going to be doing on Patreon. For those that haven't seen my Patreon, I'm very active on there. We have a lot of different tiers. They start at $2 and go all the way up into like a $50 tier where we actually offer exclusive coaching, like a one-on-one coaching thing. And I would say, if you guys haven't actually thought about checking out the Patreon, I would love it if you guys actually checked it out. There's a link to it in the description of this video. And we're just going to talk about some of the things that we offer on the Patreon. First of all, starting today, I think because this video is going to be going up on Friday, we're going to be hosting a Patreon exclusive tournament. There's going to be Patreon exclusive prizes. There's going to be a cash prize for first place, and you guys can definitely enter that if you want to check out the Patreon. We also just opened up team submission fixing. If you guys want to submit a team for review, I will 100% fix it, look at it, change all the EV spreads, mess with all the moves, and make your team the best version of itself that it can actually be. We do that every few weeks on the Patreon, and we just opened it up again. So if you guys want to check that out, you can definitely check out the Patreon. And also, like I said, since YouTube's not paying me, we're going to start doing a bunch more Patreon exclusive YouTube videos. If you want to see some Patreon exclusive YouTube content, it's already up there. Just go check it out. Like I said, the cheapest tier starts at $2, and because, again, I know I've been harping on this for a while, but since YouTube isn't paying me, right now we have about 180 Patreons. If we don't get to like 220 to cover up for that slack that YouTube, just kind of erased out of my income, I won't be able to do this anymore. Like, obviously, we're still going to make daily YouTube content, but I'm doing this for free on YouTube now, and I really have to, like, try to allocate my eggs into different baskets. So I'm not saying you guys need to go support me on Patreon. It's not that dire straits, but if you guys could at least check it out, even if you guys wanted to check it out and leave a comment here saying, wow, I really wish I could do this tier, but I don't have this much. Or, man, that $5 tier, maybe if you added like this perk, I would do it. Or maybe if you did something else in this tier, I would do it. I would love to just get feedbacks on the tiers. We offer stickers. That's going to be starting up a little bit next month. For the $10 tier, we offer the one-on-one coaching. We fix the teams. We answer the Q&As. We have a very active part of the Discord as well for the Patreon. So, like I said, all I'm saying is please check it out because I'm doing all I can here to try to cover up for the loss of income that YouTube has slided me over the past few months and, just decide to see where we actually can go moving forward. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the games, and we're going to start answering some amazing Q&A questions, again, submitted by the members of our Patreon. So let's hop right into them. Here we go. All right, going up into our very first game, Landorus, Kartana, Feeny, Incineroar, Tornadus, Metagross. I think I said that was going to be the exact meta core, like, almost a month ago. I said every team's going to have Landorus, Kartana, Feeny, Fake Out User, Torn, Metagross. And what are you going to do? One really decent thing here is, like, I actually think that Absol is pretty good versus a lot of those. It's not great versus Feeny, but I think Absol is pretty good. It's good versus Metagross. It can be usable versus Torn. I actually think we're going to lead Absol Whimsicott, because if they want to go Tailwind, I can just go Switcheroo plays. And if they lead with their Incin, and Feeny, that would be not as great. I mean, should I try and Trick Room him, actually? Like, he can't stop the Trick Room. He straight up can't. He cannot stop this Trick Room. I guess he could taunt it, I guess. I guess also Pole Colossal is really, really nice. Now, I think Whimsicott Absol is still good enough. Whimsicott Absol is pretty good. I don't know if we want the Pole Cole in the back, because, like, we are going to have to deal with, like, big Tailwinds. I actually think you want, like, the Trick Room in the back. That's going to be hard to play, but I think it's the right play. Alright, so let's lock it in. Let's lock it in, and let's actually answer our very first Patreon submitted question for this Q&A. The very first Patreon submitted question is, if you could rework an item, what would it be? So I guess they're asking, like, if I could change an already existing item in Pokemon, what would I change it to? That's a really snazzy looking outfit, by the way. Incineroar Landorus. Alright, let me think about this lead, then I'll answer that question. So he has the Fake Outs. He has Intimidates. He's, like, in a really, really good spot. He would have just auto-lost a Colossal with that board. Yo, some people, man, they'd be crazy out here. Alright, let's actually think about this. The double Intimidate, so we're gonna have to switch, I think. Do I just double switch? I'm, like, low-key okay double switching here. Alright. Let's see if they go for a Rock Slide. I think that's a Rock Slide. I think Rock Slide is a really greedy play. I think if anything, they're going to U-turn the Absol slot and fake out the Whim. And if you do that, I just get a free Lax bring in. Relatively free bring in. And Lax is really good against these guys, so we'll see. Still have the good stuff in the back. Big Lax. Fake out. Never heard of it. Blocking it up. U-turn. Oh, it's almost like I played the game. Oh, U-turn that one. That's weird. That sucks. That sucks. You're not going to U-turn the thing that takes super effective damage from a U-turn? It's fine. Break my disguise. See if I care. And then they're probably going to bring in Kartana here. Is that okay? Like, Kartana can't do that much to Lax, actually. Like, he's going to have to go after... Oh, he's bringing in Torn. He's going to taunt the Mimikyu, but I'll get a free Belly Drum here. We've seen 3 of his Mons now. Yeah, I'll go for the Trick Room. Oh, you have to taunt. You have to taunt both of these if you even want a shot. You can't taunt both of us. You could only taunt one. I think you should taunt. Yeah, it's a really hard play for him. Because, like, you don't know what my last Mon is. It could be the Colossal. It's not. Actually, you do know what my last Mon is. It's Whimsicott and Absol. So I don't know if you taunt. I don't know if you actually correctly read that you should taunt. It's hard to say, because if you taunt the Lax, and I'm just max... If I'm using Self-Destruct, I think he's actually switching in that to cover up for that, because it looks like a Self-Destruct TR lead. So, like, I think he's going to taunt the Mimikyu, but then I'll get a Belly Drum, which is going to take away this Intimidate, because it maxes from there. Taunting Mimikyu. Awesome. I'll take a Max Lax. I will take that Max Lax all the way to the bank, yo. I got to answer this question. The item that I would rework would actually be the Utility Umbrella. If I had to rework one item, what would it be? The Utility Umbrella is an item that a lot of people don't even really know exists. It's an item that says, like, your Pokemon ignores the positive and negative effects of sun and rain. So if I had, like, an Arcanine with Morning Sun and it was raining, you know, normally that would restore 33%. But if I have the Utility Umbrella, I still restore 50. What I would change is to make it so that same percent worked with, in, like, Sandstorm and Hail. So, like, I could have that same Arcanine using Morning Sun in the Sandstorm, and it would restore 50%. That's what I would change. I think that's actually a really unique change. So we can't do anything with this Mimikyu, really. We're intimidated. I mean, I might as well just switch it in for Whimsicott. to potentially go for like bait, I guess. It'll also eject button me, bring my Mimikyu right back out, and we'll hit this Torn in the face. Replenish. Let's pop it off. Big lax. Bro, I will take that KO on your Instant all the way to the bank. All the way to the bank. Yeah, we take those. So my lax is going to be at +5 right now, but that's definitely still enough to take out an Incineroar, I would say. People be sleeping on lax. Also, another cool thing about this team that a lot of people sleep on is this team uses no legendaries. Everyone's like, legendaries, legendaries. No legendaries in this team. There's a Dragapult in the team. That's not a legendary. It's a good Pokemon, but it's not legendary. Alright, let's look at the next question. The next question is, what is my least favorite metagame? So I'm guessing they're talking about like VGC formats. So my least favorite metagame, I guess, would probably be restricted bomb formats. You know, just like we're talking about right now, there's a lot of like legendaries in the format. But legendaries and like uber legendaries are a little bit different. So a restricted format would be something like VGC 2016 or 2019, where you can use things like Xerneas, Zekrom, Kyogre, freaking Ultra Mega Necrozmas. And it's different from the Battle of Legends because that was only one, and I actually didn't really mind that as much. But having 2 Ubers pretty much makes it so there's like no reason to even run like any other normal Pokemon. So hopefully we can get the KO on this Sin. Dope. Dope. And he's gonna be able to cycle. Oh, I actually got my berry back. Yo, I get the, what is it? The key to getting my berry back every time is answering Q&A. But yeah, to answer that question, restricted formats are probably my least favorite, just because I feel that they tunnel so hard on protect the legendary comps that it's just hard to have a team, I guess, that can play, you know, with like fun Pokemon. It's hard to use like fun stuff when everyone has Xerneas, right? Because Xerneas is just so oppressive. Let's see what I actually want to do here. We can start going for, I don't think I have to necessarily Tailwind here. But we outspeed that Torn, so like he can't do that much. Actually, should I just switcheroo that Torn? Like if I switcheroo the Torn and I replenish into it, he dead. Right? Switcheroo, give me your sash, Chief. I know you got it. I know what you got. I know what you got. Mentaler, who taught me. That'd be dope. Alright, that guy's super scarfed, I think. Just because, like, the way he's been playing it. He's either scarfed or banned. I think he's scarfed. He's just going for multiple Intimidate spams. What he doesn't understand is I can use Belladrum again. I can do it again. Metagross in the back. Horses in the back on this guy. Hurricane hits. Never lucky. But he's going to lose his Torn here, so I can just Trick Room him now. I wonder if I can Oko that Metagross with like a +4 high horsepower. It's gonna be a close one. I think we're gonna have to use the Absol and Sucker Punch. We're gonna have to get. Oh, we actually outspeed Mimikyu. No, Mimikyu doesn't outspeed that. It has to be Absol. But if I bring in the Mimikyu and he thinks I'm gonna Trick Room, he'll like tunnel into that slot. And it'll ignore my lax, and then I can Sucker Punch without an Intimidated Absol. I like that. Because we outspeed this Metagross just straight up right now. Should have popped a Tailwind, I think. So he's going to get a really good double Intimidate here. But I think if we can just seal up the deal on this Metagross, we should be good to go. I think I'm at like +3 or +4 still on this lax. And I have high horsepower left to use. Yeah, +3. So I don't think we'll get the KO on the Metagross. We'll probably just be proccing a policy, but I think the Absol can actually like carry it from the back. He's gonna go after this Mimikyu, but I don't think that Landorus has enough to like just Oko me. He's gonna have to double with both of us into the Mimikyu, and he's just gonna be ignoring the Lax for this turn anyways. Should I just be going after the Landorus then? And making it so my Absol can just 1v1 this Metagross? Like Sucker Punch just does massive, like Sucker Punch plus high horsepower next turn would just do enough. No, I don't want Trick Room. I think I have the correct speed control to win this. I think Max Flake is also really nice to have on Lax, because there's so many mons like Heatran and Metagross and, you know, a bunch of other things that just, like, all the electric types right now, the Kokos, the Regielekis. There's so many mons that take ground damage in this format. Incineroar, for example, another one that's also pretty pesky for Laxes to deal with. I'm so happy that Incineroar doesn't have knockoff anymore. That was so dumb. So he's going big max. And I think like Shadow Claw, high horsepower Sucker Punch can do it. Yeah, he's so scarfed. Like, Mimikyu would about sped if he wasn't. So, we can see that. That guy's thick. There's his policy. Again, it doesn't really matter what he wants to do with his policy. I think it doesn't matter. You know he's going for the Mimikyu to stop the TR. So, he's getting a Steel Spike boost. The real question, I think, is going to be, like, if this can do almost half, I think we have him. Wish me luck. Wish me luck. Steel Spike. I didn't really calculate the +1 special. Sorry, the +1 defense boost coming in to be that much. It does about half. That's still really good. So like a second one will KO it. I wonder if we can actually just get a KO though with Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is gonna be so good. And he's totally targeting this Absol slot with that Lando. So like we get this one shot, one opportunity. Let it slip, Mom Spaghetti. And let's see how much damage Wax actually takes from that Metagross as well. If he actually gets a chance to like make contact to it. Like Sucker Punch, it's stabbed, it's a Life Orb, it's super effective. Like I think that it's enough. Let's see. Let's see. Sucker Punch. Absol. Oh, not enough. Not enough. And I'm taking damage. Oh, and the fly. Oh, miss. Just miss. Just miss. You can miss. Oh, hit the Snorlax. Give me my berry back. I want my berry back, berry back. Yeah. Yeah. Don't kill me. Don't one-shot my Snorlax. Oh, he's going for the Absol. Okay, cool. I think I got it then. I think I got it. As long as I hit this high horsepower, we got it, I think. Right? Am I wrong? I think we got it if I hit this high horsepower. High horsepower. Oh! Yes. And right now that Lando, like I said, I'm like so sure that Lando's scarfed. Right? So on this fly, I'm going to use it. Recycle. One of the good moves. One of the good moves. Hopefully he doesn't just Earthquake the crap out of me. Because he has 2 Steel Spike boosts right now. I don't know if I can KO. There's the fly. Oh, the recycles into the fly. As long as it doesn't crit me, I think we just win. It's like, oh, give me my berry back. Recycle Lax is still the sauce. Give me back my Wiki Berry. Yo, I should just belly drum again. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, just facade him when he lands and then recycle it back up. You can also miss flies. Don't crit. Oh, yeah, we got it. Give me that berry back. Oh, it's so good. I'm actually super happy that I just kept Recycle on here. Because I was thinking, like, for Feeny matchups and things like that, where I want to play, like, the long game. It's just so good. He's probably just going to run here. The worst thing is if he didn't proc my berry and then, like, crit me with one when I was, like, 51%. But he scoops because he knows the Recycle was too good. You know what we have to do? We have to answer a couple Q&A questions because we're getting... I had to really concentrate that game. I guess the next question is, if I didn't compete in Pokemon, what would I choose to go pro in? And I guess if I had to still go pro in something else, if I still had to get that competitive itch for video games, right? One game that I'm really, really into, that I was super into back in college, if you actually go and watch VODs from like this channel, you can see that there's a ton of StarCraft content on this channel. I watch a lot of StarCraft. I was pretty decent at StarCraft at a point, and you know, StarCraft would probably be the game that I would dictate a lot of my time to. I've said it before, like if StarCraft 3 ever came out, I would probably really try to go, you know, pro at that and compete in a lot of tournaments. League of Legends is another game I was very passionate about. Towards the end of like season 1, early season 2, I was on an amateur team that, you know, competed in a lot of the tournaments that like the TSMs and the CLGs and the Dignitases all did. So like a lot of those players that you guys might know from League of Legends were all in tournaments, like playing at the same like technical like level as the team that I was in. We would get dumpstered, but we were still in the tournaments. And so like League's another game that I was very passionate about. I still watch LCS a little bit. I'm also pretty into like fighting games. So like, you know, Street Fighters, Smash Brothers, things like that. I pretty much play every single new fighting game that comes out. I go to EVO every single year. I got top 8 in Guilty Gear, like the OG Guilty Gear at EVO last year. I got top 16 at Kill la Kill. I play a lot of Pokken. So fighting games are usually a lot of fun for me. And last but not least, I'd probably really pursue like Hearthstone, like competitive Hearthstone. I've been Legend before. I've won Hearthstone tournaments. I've won Fireside Gatherings. And I'm just pretty into TCG content. You know, I've talked a lot about, you know, going to Worlds for the Naruto trading card game. I've been to like Nationals for Yu-Gi-Oh! Been to a bunch of those YCSs. I do play a lot of the Pokemon TCG as well. And, you know, just card games in general. I've qualified for Nationals at White Schwartz. Talked a lot about card games. Card games are a lot of fun. But we're going to go into another game and answer even more questions. Let's get right into it. Here we go. Another Tornadus team. This one also has Lele Bloom with like Clefairy Blaziken. That's probably one of the best ways to use Blaziken. I wonder if that's like an Iron Ball Expanding Force Latios. I hope that it is. That seems so cool. Let's see though. How do I want to deal with this? I feel that like Whimsicott could like almost be okay here, but I feel like you should just be Trick Rooming this guy because he wants to go a little bit too fast. And that lead has a very hard time dealing with Mimilax. Like, they have taunts, right? I'm actually about to just put, like, safety goggles on this Mimikyu because we've been fighting so many taunt leads. But yeah, I think Mimilax is a really good lead. I could also talk about going, like, Colossal here. Colossal Pult seems pretty good. Actually, Colossal Pult just seems, like, really good, doesn't it? Because you can't break the... Yeah, you can't break the... There's a lot of things that Colossal Pult just kind of dumpsters here. And the thing about Mimilax is, like, because we have the Recycle Lax, our Lax and Mimi, like, aren't... They're not really dependent on having the Lax max. So I think we're going to go with these two, and we're going to take the last 20 seconds to answer the next question. The next question is, what move do I wish my favorite Pokemon got? And while a lot of you guys know my favorite Pokemon is Butterfree, I think Butterfree actually getting Pollen Puff and like Hurricane is so much more than I could have ever asked for. So like, beggars can't be choosers. I'm good with what Butterfree has. But a move that I wish a Pokemon that I really do like to use got is I really wish they gave Alolan Persian Fling. Because a lot of you guys know I like using Fling King's Rock tech on a lot of those mons that are like those fake out Parting Shot mons. I love, or like fake out Volt Switch and fake out like Taunt and, you know, other really good turn 1 plays. I really love going for that stuff. And it sucks that like Persian can't really play that off. Like Salazzle can. Salazzle gets fake out and Fling. Right, and it's a similar speed tiering, but like Persian brings so much more to the table than Salazzle a lot of the time, and I really wish that I'd go fake out Fling Persian, because you can like fake out Fling Snarl, and I would love to have Snarl with the ability to hold a King's Rock and then fling it if I need to, and like Parting Shot. That seems like such a good moveset, and I really wish, I know that I could have like top cut Worlds in 2017 if I was using that tech. In 2017, I could have done it if I had Fling King's Rock Persian, and I feel that like that's one thing that like Game Freak like purposely didn't. They purposely like patched that out of the game. They purposely were like, nah, this would be kind of busted. And so like, great minds think alike. We're gonna try and nuke the Blaziken actually. I feel the Clefairy's just gonna click follow me anyways. So we're just gonna play around it. And we're just gonna nuke up this Blaziken. Let's pop off right now, literally. And remember, Clefairy does have Friend Guard, but like Blazikens usually like protect the first turn. And so what I'm trying to do here is, I don't really care what the Clefairy's doing. Like I kind of care. But if you're protecting with your Blaziken, I want to be able to do like 50% to your Blaziken, and so when you do max it, you're within range for like a Dragon Darts or something. You know, that's the idea. Or you could just max his Blaziken. I really don't care what he does. Follow me? Perfect, yeah. At the very least, we forced him to do that with our correct targeting. Because if he didn't, he was about to get dumpstered. And this Blaziken's still taking a lot of damage from Surf and from the dot that's going to happen at the end of the turn. If he's going for a Swords Dance, I don't know if that's the sauce. And we'll see. We will see. Colossal busted. I've been saying that for a hot minute. Weakness policy, popping it off. Speed boost for days. Let's go. Clefairy's going to get ticked out. Blaziken's going to take that dot. And we do outspeed the Blaziken right now. So let's see. Swords Dance. Awesome. I bet you I can double tap that thing with a Dragon Darts at this point. If he wants to max it, he's taking single target. He can only do single target. So let's actually see, setting up the Volcalith is huge here. He can totally send out Torn. He could totally go for like a Tailwind. There's so many different things he can do. This team wants to hit so fast. I just feel like we're in a really good spot. I almost want to say Lele would be super cool to see because it would make it so I actually can go for a Dragon Darts and they would double tap it. And what I mean by double tap, there's a Torn. Like if you have a Fairy and a regular Mon, the Dragon Darts would just double hit the Mon that's not a Fairy type. So let's actually see how I do want to deal with this. He is going to go for the Hurricane, for sure. And after that, he's probably going to max the Blaziken. So I actually think the right play is just to continue to Volcalith this Blaziken. And I think I'm actually going to Ally Switch this turn. Should I Ally Switch or should I just go for a Dragon Darts? Because Dragon Arts won't kill the Blazing Enemy matches. Yeah, I'll ally switch. And let's get the next question queued up. The next question, let me read it. Oh, this is a good one. The next question is white or brown gravy? There's the Tailwind. White or brown gravy was the next question. And this is going to blow some of you guys' minds here. Close combat, never heard of it. I'm a ghost type chief. I've never had gravy before. I've been to places where gravy's an option. I've smelled the gravy. I've been in the places where gravy exists. I've always kind of just avoided the gravy. Gravy's not my jam. And I've kind of just never partook. I asked my girlfriend about what gravy is, and so she said like the brown gravy's like turkey, right? Like turkey, like meat stock things, right? And then she said that the white gravy's like cream based. And so I would have to say I would like the meat based one better. But, you know, it is hard to say. Let's see. So at this point he's gonna be expecting me to ally switch again. I think we're just gonna go after the Latios. We can just ignore that Torn because we legit have like Mimulax in the back. We can actually just kind of do a lot of... We can kind of just probably get away with anything because we have Mimulax in the back. But let's just go after the Latios. I don't think Latios is packing a ground move. He's going to max the Latios, by the way. You're not maxing your Torn here. Man, that ally switch last turn was so dirty. I'm surprised he didn't max the Blaziken. Like, I really wanted him to. But him maxing the Latios is the right play here. Hopefully it's not like a weakness policy set. Like I said, I think it might be like an Iron Ball or like a set that would ground him so we could use the Psychic Terrain. But let's see it. Shiny Latios. Place your bets, Chief. Brutal Swing. It is weakness policy. That's super dope. Yeah, that's like really, really cool. Weakness policy Latios. Probably one of the best ways to use that Pokemon in this meta. I've seen a lot of people use it with, is this even a KO? Oh, 2 HP! We're rocking a really, really thick set on this Colossal. So I was like, does this even KO? I don't think it KO's, Chief. I think you about to be taking that damage. Damage. Boom! Big damage. I don't know if the darts is gonna double tap you, but like we have the dot stick in. Let's go. We actually are just dumpstering people with this team today. Holy moly. I can't believe this Absol team's doing so. I mean, I'm not really using Absol in this game, but you know, we used Absol in the last game. I mean, what do you expect? Like I was talking about at the start of the video, like these legendary formats, it's really hard to like play with Pokemon that aren't at the same level. Like Absol's a cool Pokemon, but like I said, it's 75 base speed. That's it. It's really hard to use Absol in a meta where if your opponents are leading with Tornadus both games turn 1, and you don't want to like, and they lead Tornadus Blaziken or Tornadus Latios, your Absol's not gonna be able to keep up. Yeah, we're just gonna go for darts. We got it. We got it. And you know what? We might as well just take this time. Do I actually just like charge this? No, I'm just gonna Heat Wave. That'd be so BM, because he's probably just gonna run. Oh, no run. Goes for the Brutal Swing. Not bad. Not bad. I appreciate the Brutal Swing. We should be able to double tap him with the Dragapult. And I'm gonna get the next question up. The next question is, what is my favorite color? And my favorite color is red. You can tell. You can tell. My favorite color is red. It's been red for a while. It's probably been red since about 2014. One of the first esports orgs I ever actually signed with for a contract was one called Enemy GG. They were in the League of Legends LCS, and ever since then, it's pretty much just been red. But let's see. How many questions do we still have? We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We still have 6 questions. So let's answer a couple more, and we'll get into another game. So the next question is, when you start building a team, do you pick the Pokemon first or the moves you want to use first? And I think that's a pretty cool question. You know, a lot of people think like, oh man, I need Thunderbolt here. What Pokemon gets Thunderbolt? That probably does work, you know. But I tend to see it more like, I need a screens setter or I need a fake out user. And so I guess like a fake out user technically falls under, do I pick the moves first? But I pick Pokemon that fill roles. I need an Intimidator. I need a good mon to put this Focus Sash on. So instead of picking moves or a Pokemon, I search for correct roles. I need a Pivot Mon or a Venge KO Mon. I need a good mon to hold a Choice Scarf. And so hopefully that answers your question. Last one we're going to answer before going into the last game is, what is your perfect rule set for VGC? So we talked about my least favorite VGC formats, and those were restricted mounts formats like 2016 and 2019. I would say my favorite VGC formats were 2011, I like 2013 a little bit, but 2011 and 2014, and those are limited dex formats, similar to how 2017 was a limited dex. I just wasn't a big fan of Z moves. And then Sword and Shield's actually a limited dex format. You know, Series 1 through Series 5 and Series 6 a little bit were limited dex format, where we had actually Series 1 through 4, like up until Isle of Armor, those were limited dex formats, where we actually just had a small pool of mons to work with, a little bit of old, a little bit of new. I really liked VGC 2011 because actually you were only allowed to use new mons in 2011. So even though like a lot of those Pokemon were still in that game, that was Gen 5, you couldn't use them in VGC, so you were forced to only use new Pokemon. And I would say that was probably my favorite format because people couldn't go with their old and busted. They literally had to learn to play with new things first for a whole year. And that just made the format a lot more fun, in my opinion. But I guess my favorite rule set for VGC would be, if we're not talking about like just formats, would be one where the gen's gimmick doesn't really impact the game too much. I would say I almost really like this format if you took out Dynamax. If you took out Dynamax from what we have in Sword and Shield right now, I would like it. You know, let's talk about Gen 5. Gen 5 had the gems. Gen 6 had Mega Evolution. Gen 7 had Z moves. And now Gen 8 has Dynamax. Gems were awesome because they made it so certain Pokemon could hit damage spikes. They could, you know, gems gave you a 1.5 boost to any type of attack. So if you're using like Crunch and you have a Dark Gem, it gives you a 1.5 boost to your Crunch. And if they protect or switch or do anything, well, you just wasted your item. It's gone, you know. But you have the potential to put pressure on the opponents with the illusion of gems. Gems create a lot more potential for pinning Pokemon and things like that. There's a lot of cool mind games that go along with gems. Mega Evolution just says, Herp Derp, I'm busted. Z moves say, Herp Derp, I'm busted. Dynamax says, Herp Derp, I'm busted. And there's not as much like counterplay to those things. There's not as much of a cool bait, switch, protect, you know, pin potential. It just kind of says all those mechanics have so much power behind them. You know, the Mega Evolution, Z moves, and Dynamax, that there's not really as much counterplay as just as I would like, I guess. I'm just not a fan of them. But we're going to go to another game, and we're going to answer the next few questions in that game. Here we go. All right, is that Aggron and another Mimikyu? Yo, I love it when other people use Mimikyu. I think it's actually a really cool game to test Absol. Who do I really want to pair it with, though? I don't think you want to go Mimikyu. I think you have to go with something faster than the Inteleon to set up with, I guess. T-Tar's problematic because I can't eject button that guy. I think we're going to go Whimsicott Absol. I think we're going to try it. I can go Tailwind and just hit the Inteleon if I need to. You know, I have what I need for that. And then do I really want Colpult in the back? It's hard to say. Like, I don't actually know if I'm going to be... I plan on maxing my Absol against most of this board. Let's see. How good is... Mimulax is actually really nice here. At least Snorlax is. I think we might just bring Mimikyu. It's Mimikyu or Pult in the back I'm looking at. And I think the Mimikyu might be just a little bit better. Just because, like, Mimikyu doesn't take sash damage or sand damage at all. Yeah, let's go Mimikyu. Mimikyu is such a hard sell versus Aggron, but that's like why Relax has high horsepower. It's so nice. Yo, let's get into the next question, and that is, what is my go-to morning drink meal? I actually don't eat breakfast. I really don't eat breakfast. The only thing I really ever have in the mornings is a little bit of coffee. And you can see that I have, like, the Starbucks cup. I always have a Starbucks cup. That doesn't mean that I always go to Starbucks in the mornings. That just means that, like, every week or so I go to Starbucks, you know? And then I just save my cup and then reuse it because it's the right size cup. It's a decently sized cup. Oh, and it's so perfect. All right, speaking of perfect, how do we actually want to do this? Well, I mean, I don't need Tailwind to OHKO that T-Tar. I'll say it. I don't need Tailwind to OHKO it. I can outspeed it. I can kill it. I can just close combat the guy, get an attack boost. That'd be nice, right? I actually think, though, that I want to try to OHKO the Inteleon. I think I want to go after Inteleon. I actually want to say low-key, I could just switcheroo out that Inteleon right now and ignore the T-Tar, because I think he's going to be protecting to block a Nuck. But I think we're just going to try to go after the Inteleon, because we're going to Tailwind. I think that this Max Darkness will, at the very least, lower it to the Special D, so where I can outspeed and then KO with a Moonblast next turn, and then I'll be able to kill the T-Tar with a Max Knuckle. So we're gonna max here. Looks like he's not maxing the Inteleon. So like I think he's gonna lose the Inteleon this turn, and then I don't care what the T-Tar does. Unless it's like super powering my Absol, which like I don't blame you. You should hit Absol. It's obvious as hell. That's the Pokemon I'm trying to use here. I'm gonna take Life Orb damage, I'm gonna take Sand damage. Like, we're a bit of a glass cannon on this little guy over here. But if he's going for like a Focus Energy, he's in for a bad time. He is maxing the T-Tar. Okay. This is gonna be harder than I want it to be because I can't switch eject button out the T-Tar. I think he knows that. Should I have just hit that T-Tar on the face? Is he ice? I think Icy Wind would be super cool from the Inteleon, but like we should outspeed with the Absol. We're using a plus speed nature, so we're gonna be able to outspeed the Inteleon because of the Tailwind. I think, depending on how he's built. Are you Scarf Inteleon, Chief? All right, Max Darkness. We should be able to Oko here. Life Orb, 130 base attack, down for the count. All right, and we get a specialty drop on the T-Tar. It's not gonna be super important right now, but if we can do something to take away the weather, it might be. Maybe he'll change the weather. Maybe he won't hit my Absol. No, he is Max Knucking me. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, he's weak. Why are you so weak? Is he like full bulk? Like full bulk? How much bulk do you need over there? I can't believe I can't believe I didn't do that much damage. Have you ever not seen an Absol get one-shotted? Like, actually, I should say this. I have more CP with this Pokemon than like any other person in the world. In 2014, I was using Absol. 2016, 2018, 2019, I've used copious amounts of this Pokemon. It should have just got one-shotted. Did we just ignore? I guess he could E-speed me here. Oh, we can kill that Arcanine right now. Just straight up, we can just dumpster it. Is Arcanine a problem? Is T-Tar a problem? I think T-Tar is a problem. I think Arcanine is lame. I don't want to deal with Arcanine right now. I think I'm going to go after the Arcanine. I think I'm going to Airstream the Arcanine. And I think I'm going to switcheroo it. Yeah. If he has Heat Wave, he has Heat Wave. Or not Heat Wave, Extreme Speed. I just think the Arcanine is more of a threat. If he wants to go after my Absol, like I feel like this is okay. Yeah, just get that thing weakened and gone. Probably relying on that thing to actually hit the Whimsicott. It's hard to say, really. This guy's playing a little bit weird. But he's gone. He's going to be able to re-intimidate in a minute. But remember what we have in the back. We have Mimilax. And if we wait out the T-Tar here. If we wait out the T-Tar, I think we just are going to be okay. And also, like, if I didn't use my eject button there, I wouldn't have been able to use it. Like, if I just went for an attack on the T-Tar or something, he has Mimikyu. Because you can't switch him out when they only have two. He goes for a Nuck. All right. So he just leaves up my Whimsicott once again. So Whimsicott's going to definitely be able to break the Mimikyu disguise if I want to. We haven't gone into the T-Tar, so we haven't like procced a policy, but he is at +2, so that is very scary. I have my own Mimikyu here. I think... Do we just like go all in on this Mimikyu? Because I'm looking at it. I'm thinking I could double into his Mimikyu here and just get the KO. And it'd let him do one big turn with that T-Tar, but then he's out of max turns. And he'll intimidate me, but I don't know if like T-Tar can grind out my lax. We'll see. Especially when he's not in max mode. I know he has a fighting attack, but like if that's fighting has like superpower, like we'll see. I think you just double into the Mimikyu here. It's actually smarter to use Beat Up because the first hit would be like, yeah, it's smarter to use Beat Up here. Because it would, first hit's going to break the disguise. We'll get like 2 extra ticks. And we are going to have speed control. So Beat Up's going to go. So that's going to hit the disguise. We get 2 more hits just to deal extra chip damage, which is actually pretty nice. Yep. Extra damage. The min-maxin machine Whimsicott. And we should be able to take him out with a Shadow Claw. And let's see, he's probably going to go after the Whimsicott this turn, right? And so my plan is, next turn, to go for, like, maybe a Belly Drum Trick Room. And then I'll just one-shot him with high horsepower. Oh, that's fine. He's just going to ignore the Whimsicott. If the longer you keep this up, like, you actually do have a -1 special D boost, or special D drop. So it's like, you're out of max turns. You didn't get any max Quakes or Steel Spikes. Yeah, Whimsicott's, like, low-key not great, but, like, I can just hit you now, you know what I mean? I can just hit you in the face. I actually think that's the right play, because like that Arcanine, we can definitely grind the Arcanine out with Lax. We have to proc the policy here. We have to go for Moonblast. How many turns are left on Sandstorm, actually? Let's think about this. One turn left on my Tailwind. What if I went for, like, a Trick Room with my... No, there's no way he lets me get away with that. 2 turns left on the Sandstorm. I really don't want to just deal that much. I don't want to just proc his policy. I feel like I'm going to be procking it anyways. We're player thing. Yeah, it's fine. Let's see. It might not even be policy. It might actually be a vested T-Tar, because not a lot of the... You don't actually see T-Tars have fighting attacks a lot of the time. Okay. Okay, bro! Crit! Yo! Where you look? I told you had that special D-drop. I told you. Didn't I tell you had that special drop? You ever seen a Whimsicott one-shot a T-Tar in the sand? What was that T-Tar set? What was it? T-Tar getting destroyed out here. He crit me back. Yo, Whimsicott. I should change the name to Crit Magnet. You got a Pinchberry? Sandstorm. Oh, Sandstorm. Kobe. Fade away. I guess I'll just take the wins. Oh, that game ended not how I thought it was going to. But you know what? We Dynamaxed the Absol that game. And we put it to good use. Let's answer the last couple questions. My favorites. The next question is, what is my favorite build for a skateboard? And I guess they're asking about like deck size or brands. I usually like to skate creature decks, actually. Those are my favorite. And that's why they're not up on the wall, because those are the ones that I actually like to skate. I skate 8.37 right now, and I'm working my way up to 8.6 because I want to like carve bowls and do a lot more vert stuff as opposed to street. Street, you know, you'd really want like, if you're like grinding, you want like 8.0s, 8.25s. If you're going off jumps, you want like 8.5s. But like vert, you kind of need like that 8.6, much bigger board. Next question is, what is my next hair color going to be? It's probably going to be red for a while, I would say. And the last question is, if you could only play one gen of Pokemon, what series would you play? And I guess I'll answer this in 2 parts. If I were just play one for fun, like a casual playthrough, I would say Gen 3. I actually really like Gen 3. I like the way the map's organized, actually. I know there's a lot of water, but like the first like 6 gyms are actually like really, really nice. I like all of the Pokemon. I feel they match well with a lot of the routes. And I guess if I had to play one just for competitive, I would say that I really like Gen 4 competitive for singles was really, really good. And then Gen 5 was kind of like how I got into VGC. I like the aesthetics of Gen 5. Gen 5 is also a good game for playthrough as well. You can also play like, you know, like Black 2 hard mode. Those are a lot of fun. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Use the team if you want. It's a cool rental. And definitely remember to check out the Patreon if you haven't. Like I said, we have that tournament that's going to be coming up here. It's going to be coming up like on Friday. It's Friday the 6th. I think it's probably the day that I'm uploading this video. So it's going to be live at 11 a.m. It's a Patreon-only tournament, and all tiers are welcome. The $2 tier, we have tiers at 2, 5, 10, 15, and 50. And the only thing that really separates them is, you know, all the cool perks you get. So definitely think about at least checking that out. Remember, the whole reason we even want to make this video, really talk about it, was the fact that, you know, YouTube hasn't been paying me. So if you guys have any words of wisdom or things you think I should be doing in this situation, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely down to try new things to make it so I don't have to, you know, quit doing YouTube. But right now we're in dire straits, so any support I can get from you guys would be, you know, very, very beneficial. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.